Donald J. Trump is guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree to conceal a scheme to corrupt the 2016 election.
That was Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg speaking moments ago on the verdict in Donald Trump's criminal case. We continue to follow that breaking news tonight at 7. The former president has been found guilty on all criminal charges against him. Up until this point, Trump had pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records. It is the first criminal case ever brought against a former president who reacted to the ruling moments after it came down.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm J.C. Monahan. Let's get right out to NBC 10 political reporter Matt Pritchard live in the newsroom. Matt, in a historic case, can you walk us through what led to this moment and what happens next?
Yeah, JC, it is a historic moment, no doubt about it, holding massive implications for the former president, but also for the current race for the White House.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial.
Immediate reaction from Donald Trump, the former president convicted on all 34 criminal document fraud charges brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
I did my job. Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor. And that's exactly what we did here.
Now, the prosecution striking a sober celebratory tone.
That the defendant, Donald J. Trump, is guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree to conceal a scheme to corrupt the 2016 election.
Over the course of 6 weeks, they brought forward 20 witnesses tied to hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in the lead up to the 2016 election. As she claims to have had an affair with Trump, something the former president denies.
We didn't do a thing wrong.
Outside Trump Tower, Trump waving to crowds after a lengthy motorcade trip back from the courthouse. He and his legal team remaining defiant and repeating a familiar refrain.
We'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win.
And so appeals are likely to come at this point from the defense, from Trump's legal team. But as things stand now, a sentencing date of July 11th is scheduled. That is just 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention. JC?
Matt, thank you. Now, meanwhile, the Biden campaign put out a statement. It says in part, quote, "In New York today, we saw that no one is above the law. Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain. But today's verdict does not change the fact that the American people face a simple reality. There is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. Convicted felon or not, Trump will be the Republican nominee for president." For more reaction, we turn now to NBC 10's Michael Rosenfield, live outside the State House. Michael, this is a first for all of us, so what are you hearing?
Well, JC, word spread very quickly here in the city this afternoon when the verdict was announced. I think by and large, people thought this might drag on a little bit longer. Jurors deliberating only for about 10 or 11 hours. The consensus out here really is that people thought it would last longer, that this would drag out since this is such a historic decision. But clearly the jurors thought the prosecution had proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt, and people out here seem to have been paying attention, including law school students who just walked by and told me they were studying this in class, a history-making court case playing out in real time. Donald Trump convicted of 34 criminal counts. As we heard, sentencing will now take place in July.
I think he got what he deserved. Honestly, we knew this was coming. We're law students. We watched this trial come out, and this is exactly the outcome I expected.
How come?
The evidence was definitely stacked up against him, and also I just feel like people should be held accountable for their actions despite being the presidency.
He still has a lot of power, though, even though he's guilty, though, but he knows a lot of people and a lot of connections, and they're going to overturn it. Because that's what appeals courts are for.
What did you think the jury was going to do?
I think they were going to take a long time with it and eventually just like not say that he was guilty, because it's easier to do that and because he seems to have so much power.
So really a historic day for this country as a former president is found guilty of 34 criminal counts, and he still has several other legal cases to deal with. This as he continues to run for president. We're live in Boston. Michael Rosenfield, NBC 10 Boston.
Michael, thank you for that perspective, and be sure to stay with NBC 10 Boston for continuing coverage of this historic verdict. We will have a full breakdown tonight at 11, but until then, of course, we have everything you need to know on our website and on our mobile app.